Let's take a trip back to April 29, 2018. This is the same day when I first signed up on Roblox and created my first ever Roblox account called Sketch Igra. It's pronounced Sketch Igra. It's not pronounced Sketchigra. I just realized I'm about to contradict myself because a couple of seconds ago I said that I signed up on Roblox, but it turns out I didn't actually sign up on Roblox. Instead, my dad helped me sign up on Roblox, and that's why my username on that account was Sketchigra, because he came up with it. And he came up with it because at the time I really loved Sketch. Not Sketch, Sketch. After approximately a month and approximately a month only of usage, I deleted Roblox just so I can free up some space and install another game. I think that's what I was trying to do, I can't remember now. Later, I reinstalled Roblox and made my second account called Utokyo. The following thing that I'm about to bring up that has to do with this account is something that I've already talked about in my previous Avatar Evolution video, which surprisingly enough wasn't released last year, but rather 2 years ago. But if you don't want to hear how monotone and quiet my voice sounded in the previous Avatar Evolution video, then you don't have to watch it. I'll talk about it in this video anyway. It was actually a Roblox account made in 2011 with an identically spelled username and an identically dressed avatar. That sounded weird. Identically dressed avatar. Besides me, who else even says that? The only differences between this account and the other account made in 2011 was number one, the fact that it was made in 2011 and this one was made in 2018. The usernames were spelled identically, but also meaning that there was only one small difference. The other one was spelled with an I, mine is spelled with a Y, and mine wasn't dressed with anything, it wasn't wearing any accessories, while the other one was wearing a cap. On July 26, 2018, I made another bacon hair account called Michael Jordan Ager. And yes, the username is a combination of Michael Jordan and Teenager because I thought that both Michael Jordan and Teenager sounded cool. But, unlike the first two accounts where I quickly dumped them after approximately a month or two of use, I actually used this account for about a year, and this is the first ever account where I learned how to customize my avatar and replace the blue and black motorcycle t-shirt with this shirt. This next account that I started using in 2019 called Shishi11278 wasn't actually made by me, it was made by my sister. She made this account on her own iPad, but then in 2019 she got a new tablet and she gave her iPad to me because my original iPad where I made my first 3 Roblox accounts functioned terribly. It functioned terribly because of the amount of times that I dropped it, and I dropped it so many times that it started doing things on its own that I originally didn't want it to do by itself. And it started spazzing out and acting like a person with Tourette syndrome. Unsurprisingly, I changed the account's avatar, going from a girl avatar to a boy avatar. I don't know how I managed to do this, but I managed to lose the Shishi11278 account and I had to make a new account called Ninja62. Then I switched over to my original iPad, which functioned terribly, and for some reason decided to make a new account called Gryffindor Fox 1976. Because I was that obsessed with Harry Potter. On March 26, 2020, I don't know how I managed to do this, I don't know why I managed to do this, but all I know is that I just managed to lose the Agent Lisbon account. Again, I lost another account! Even I don't know what's with me and losing a bunch of accounts on Roblox, but they just disappear without me even knowing how! But a day later, I finally made my main account, which I still use to this day, Firefox Clayton 1962. I made this username because I liked Firefox because it had a cool name, and that was the internet browser that I used to come up with this username while signing up on Roblox and making this account. I liked Firefox because it had the words fire and fox. Fox because I liked the foxes at the time, and fire, which is associated with firefighters, aka the job that I used to wish I had when I made this username. I also put Clayton in the username because at the time I used to wish my name was Clayton, but now I don't care about that anymore and I don't really like that name as much as I used to when I first put it in my username. And I put 1962 in the username because that was the same year when the Ferrari 250 GTO was released. On January 2nd, 2021, I finally got Roblox for the first time and made my avatar look like a chemist, thinking that chemistry is actually going to be a fun and fascinating subject that I will develop passion for. But then my Team Fortress 2 obsession kicked in hard enough for me to change my avatar once again, going from a chemist bacon to a medic bacon, just because I like the medic from Team Fortress 2. On June 19th, 2021, I got Roblox for my 11th birthday and made my avatar look like Albert in his video on It Lurks. I'm not making this up. I actually looked like him in his video, and it looks... Just look at this! I wore a flamingo hoodie, I got the hair somewhat accurate to his, and I got the flamingo. Wait, that sounded weird. Flamingo. In late November of 2021, I got the white flamingo fedora, changed my avatar to a blockier avatar, more used to R6. Thanks Sharkbox for the tutorial on how to get the white flamingo fedora. It was really worth it. And then, on December 25th, 2021, on Christmas Day, this is the day when I finally got 4,500 Robux. The highest amount of Robux I ever got, either for Christmas or birthday, doesn't matter. So it's just the highest amount of Robux I ever got. The problem though with this amount of Robux that I got on Christmas was that I spent a majority of this Robux on changing my avatar going from flamingo to a stereotypical Russian, complete with black Adidas clothing and an ushanka with a red star on it. But by far, the worst thing that I spend Robux on has to be the old school animation. Your head turns left and right when you stand still in the old school animation, even though in the R6 animation pack you don't look anywhere, you just look in one direction and one direction only. When you jump, you look up for some reason, even though once again, like with the idle animation in the R6 animation pack, you look in one direction and one direction only, and for some reason, when you walk, you lean! There are so many problems that I have with the old school animation that I would be here forever yapping about something that this whole video isn't even supposed to be about. Thankfully though, some of the accessories and the clothing that I spent this Robux on was actually worth it. For instance, this pair of pants I wear every Christmas, this round pair of glasses, this stay face, the Ronin katana, and this tray of Christmas bickies. But overall, I hated this avatar and I couldn't choose whether or not I wanted my avatar to look like this or if I wanted it to look like this. On July 9th, 2022, I finally got Robux and spent it on the colon close square bracket face. And I finally put back on my messy brown hair and finally bought the classic fisherman's cap. On December 25th, 2022, I changed my default avatar to make it look like this. But because it was Christmas at the time, I had to make my avatar look like this rather than this. On June 19th, 2023, I didn't necessarily change my default avatar, but I still spent Robux on making new outfits like Michael Myers and Bacon Eternal. Later in August of 2023, I got the Graveyard Edge sword made by Sharkbox, and I also used this accessory to make my Halloween outfit for October of 2023. On December 25th, 2023, I spent Robux on making my avatar look like N from Murder Drones. If you've been around on Roblox for long enough, you would remember that during the Classic in May of 2024, everybody changed their avatar going from their default avatar to an old Roblox theme. I also participated in this trend and made my avatar look like this. If it doesn't look good, that's because I tried to spend as little Robux as humanly possible. On June 19th, 2024, I didn't necessarily change my default avatar, once again, but instead I changed my Anna outfit going from this to this. And finally, on December 25th, 2024, I finally changed my default avatar. Not any of my other outfits, my default avatar. And even though the change isn't necessarily drastic because the only difference between then and now is the hair that I changed, but even then I still think it's worth it and it's pretty noticeable. This is my current outfit, and that was my avatar evolution. But there's actually a lesson that many of you kids have to learn from this video, who, to be honest, I didn't want to appeal to in the first place. Before you get Robux, make sure you make up your mind and make your final decision on what you want to spend your Robux on, whether it's on game passes or if it's on changing your avatar. It doesn't matter. The point is, if you make your final decision, if you make up your mind, you won't end up wasting Robux on things that you'll later regret wasting it on. Okay, to be honest, I don't know how I'm going to be able to end this video without having to say peace out or say safe out there, but I don't want to end this video like that. Maybe I'll end it like this.